Hello everyone, welcome back to the stream. My name is Nathan and today we're going to do some game design. Now I probably should have done this before I hit on the button that made me here. And hello Mia who's in the chat, and hello to those who are watching either in a VOD or currently live. Welcome, thank you for watching. I'm going to take a little quick sip of water and then I'll say hello to chat. We'll do some housekeeping and then we'll get into some game design over Coco Loco. How's everyone's weeks been? Anything exciting happen? Anything cool? Anyone working on anything particularly awesome? Any game dev stuff happening? Any news we should cover? Hello, Queerloo. Hello, D Does AI. Very nicely, very nice. So what's been happening this week? I guess, you know what, I'll see if I can launch Unreal and show you guys a little bit of what I've been doing. It isn't what the stream's about, but you know what? It's still going to be fun to cover anyways. I've been mostly doing animation. And so if I head over to, we'll see how much my computer can handle, because streaming obviously on top of Unreal, on top of Blender, can be a few things happening here all at once. But if we go into here, and then give it a second. Oh, that's the question. Can the CPU handle it all? Okay, all right. I think everything is working. I think. Let me just make sure the stream's still okay. Just want to make sure everyone can hear me. I'm getting errors here about bitrate stuff. Oh, it's gone away now. Just make sure the sound is good. You can hear me. You can hear some music playing. Should probably focus a bit more on some OBS stuff. Hopefully, if everything's working right now and you can hear me, I have alerts activated now as well. So we've got to test those out too. Whether you... Thank you, Amir. Okay, cool. You can hear me, but no music. That is easily sorted. I'm guessing it's going to be one of those settings. There you go. Now you should get some music. That's annoying. I gotta change stuff, but I have to stop and start the stream, which I don't want to do. Unless it's been turned down a lot. What was I talking about? So we got alerts now. So if any of you send in super chats, if you actually now going to make sure that that is going to be sound on as well. Music now. Okay, good. So it means it's on a different track, and I have to make sure all the tracks next stream are on activated. So we've got alerts now. So if you subscribe while we're streaming, as well as any new members or super chats, we should get notifications right in the corner here that'll say whatever. And if it's super chat, hopefully there'll be a text-to-speech option. And we've got, I forgot the name of the guy now, because there's different AI bot names that can read the message. And I got an Aussie guy, an Aussie bot, to read us the messages. I forgot his name, but it's such a yeah, all right. Anyways, let's head over to the desktop, and I can show you what I've been working on with Coco Loco this week. So this week has been hello Kieran. Kieran's awake. True 0067. Thank you for letting me know about the music. I want it to be low so you can kind of hear it, a bit of a vibe, but not too much. I mean, hey D, if you want to test it out, let me know. I don't know if it'll even register it if you unsub and then resub. But anyways, here I've been working on animations. So this is the base character model I'm going to have for all the characters. You know, certain exceptions might be different face structure or ears or whatever, but that's pretty easy to rig up again. But in terms of the actual character shape, this is what we have. And so I've been rigging this base model with the Rigify tool set, or Pro Rig, whatever it's called, the Blender add-on. And we've got everything working here. So if I can make sure I don't save anything, but if we select it all, I think we've got to change to this mode, yeah. And then reset. So now we have a full rig here, and we can make them do a little jig. So if we grab the hips, they can do a little jig. We've got arms here that can do stuff, you know. Hello, hello. Their head can do things, you know. We can do that, which is quite unsettling, but I don't expect us to ever need the head to do that. You know, we're not making a gory game at all. And then we've got little footsies too that can do the whole stepping. And so animating has been mostly a bit easier to do with this rig, with the occasional hiccups, which I will probably Auto King. Oh, that's cool. Show in a full devlog video. I've got some recordings of when things didn't work out quite as I expected them to. But yeah, we've got a working rig here with the character. They can do all sorts of different movements and things. And we got IK and FK working. The biggest concern, well, not concern, but the biggest struggle has been with the arms. Not with the hands so much. The hand's pretty easy to move. But in certain positions, the arm and the shoulder thins out, meaning that I need to reposition because it's the wireframe has kind of contorted and bent too much, and I need to bend it back to make it not look so skinny, which has meant annoying like that. So when it's turned too much, it gets super skinny like that, where other times I need to fatten it up by turning it like that. And so that's been a little keyframe thing I've had to play around with, as well as with the elbows and with the kneecaps as well. It's not a perfect rig, but since it's just me using it for now, I'm okay with it. It's getting the job done. And so we've got different animations. So right here is the just sitting down, and I guess you could see on either position here. Oh, hey!
Streamlabs.
True 0067, it worked! Welcome. Thank you for supporting me. I appreciate it. And we got a little... that's good. Let me know if you all heard it. You probably didn't. Let me have a look at the settings. You should have heard it. I think so. But yeah, that's a fun little thing. Yes, thank you for demonstration. Yay, it worked. Wonderful. And so we've got little animations here. One here being the sit. So it's kind of like Animal Crossing, where they would do like a little jump and hop to get on the seat. This has been the trickiest one because obviously, as you can see here, they're moving away from their root position. And so next week's task, and like we see there, that's from me playing around with it. You get really fun things like that. Oh, look at that. That's just not at all nightmare fuel. But little things like that, I'm like, okay, I've got to figure out the best method for this, because Unreal has methods for it, but because I've kind of built other systems more simply, I have to kind of build off those systems rather than using Unreal's method. Because what people, the tutorials online have been saying to use what's called a smart object, which is a predetermined object you can attach to meshes or what other game objects, and it basically stores this information that Unreal can use already. You set up yourself, and you can use it, for weapons you can pick up, for chairs to sit down. It's basically, it's a smart object. So instead of it just being a basic game object you place within the game engine, it has attributes that you can then affect it. I don't want to say smart because that's, using the same word twice. But I'm not doing that because of two reasons, which I'll show you in the engine. And so we've got these little animations first I'm going to do. So we've got the little sit one. It's a bit fast, but it's kind of what I want. I don't want the player or the NPCs to kind of be too slow. I can always slow it down within the engine. We've got them standing up, which is basically the same thing. But as you can see, when they go to sit, so they're standing, and then they bend their knees, and then they push back like that, where when they are standing, so they're already sitting, and then their arms kind of go in a like forward motion, and you can see their back twerking a little bit, and then the body follows. So just fun things like that where like I haven't really touched animation a lot. It was a bit frustrating at school when I did it for my game design course, just because of the requirements and deadlines. It wasn't as enjoyable. But I've been having fun just, watching videos, and like I recorded, I'll see if I can get it up. Videos. Are they in videos or are they in downloads? That is the question. Oh yeah, I got a few ones. So this one here is on Twitter. I don't want to get DMCA'd. But these it's a studio in China, and they mostly do motion. What's it called? Why have I forgotten it now? Motion capture. My gosh, Friday night, right? And they had this animation here, which she was running, and so I was breaking down each keyframe, just to kind of get the movement, because the walk cycle for me was feeling a very rigid and jagged. So I was trying to get something that was a bit more cartoonish, while also feeling natural, like that trying to get the motion of when the foot is going up and down and how weight distributes. So I had that, and then I also had these here. I screen recorded some shots from my Switch of Animal Crossing, and I broke down frame by frame. And it's funny because they all follow the same rules. If you go to the animations guidebook on like how to do a walk cycle, they're all following the rules. Animal Crossing breaks it a little bit in terms of when the foots kind of align up with each other, because they're more stylized. They all kind of pass each other a lot more quickly. But overall, and I think they cut out like half of one of the key poses. But it's just really interesting to see. And I never realized actually how much Animal Crossing characters moved as well when they were idle. Like you can see here when he's moving, his whole arm's moving back and forward. And so that's something I played around with as well in the idle stand, because I didn't want to have as much movement. I put an engine and it felt very overexpressive. Where this one I feel like was a little bit more subtle, but still felt like they were alive. Basically, is what I was trying to get at. And so we got that, and then we have our walk cycle, which for now is very, very basic and is kind of broken, but that's my fault from showing you all of this. But now we have them all in the engine. And so, chat, do you want to see what they look like in engine? Hopefully it works this time. It was funny, last stream stuff didn't work, and then I closed it down, relaunched it, and then it worked again. But now we've got little NPCs now that walk up. And sometimes they go to sit, but I don't think they're going to sit because I was in the middle of figuring out how to get them to sit. So what's happening before, as we can see here on these chairs, they don't always go to the same side of the chair. And so what people usually do when they have a chair is they'll have what's called, like I said before, the smart object. And what they'll do is they'll place the smart object in front of the chair, so an NPC can walk up to it, interact with it, and basically it will play the sitting animation. And it's pretty easy to do because all the NPC does, which if I get an NPC mesh, I can demonstrate this a bit more clearly. Where the NPC at? It's all skeleton. Fine, we'll just use this guy. So what usually happens is the NPC will come along, and they'll see the smart object here, like so, and then you can use a thing, which I've forgotten the name of right now. It's like, not root motioning, but they use it a lot for parkour games, where they try to figure out where they want the where the character or player is in the moment, and where they need to be to play the animation. You'll see a lot in games, like kind of when you go up to a crafting bench, you might be further away and then you interact with it, and then they kind of do a little walk in to the animation. That's what that's doing. And so what usually happens is, the NPC or the player will come up to the chair, interact with the smart object, which will be in between the chair and the player, and then it'll trigger the animation, which with the smart animation, the route matching or whatever, we'll go, okay, for the animation, we need to be here. So the player will turn around, or the NPC or whatever, and then they'll sit on the chair. That's how it's usually done. But as you can see here, there are tables in the way. So how do I want to solve this? Quite simply, what I'm going to do, what I've been working on yesterday and a little bit today, is figuring out how to do this. So I did learned the whole smart object way, and was like, it's not going to work because we want either side. There's not just one position that the NPC is going to go towards. Because if there was a smart material, or smart object here, sorry, smart material is something different, then we still need to do a whole bunch of math and logic to figure out which side of the chair they're on, this and that, and basically there's no point in having the smart object because you're basically getting the same information you've got from the current object and then having to figure out what animation to play yourself anyways. How are we following along? And so what I'm planning on doing... Oh, they've disappeared. Oh, it's because I'm in the ceiling, that's why. So what we're planning on doing is we're going to have 2 empty components on either side of the chair. And what's going to happen is, because in the current logic, when an NPC is spawned into the scene here, the first thing they check is all the tables. And they say, okay, are any of these tables available? And if there are, then they claim it as their own, and they walk in, and once they reach a certain distance, I think it's like a unit of 5 or whatever, and they know, okay, this is my table, I've claimed it, then they pick a chair, and it's usually the closest chair. It doesn't work 100% right now, but I'm working on it. Now, the extra step I have to add to that is once they select that chair, we have to figure out, okay, what is the closest side? So if an NPC, for example, walks in here and say this table at the front is available, they will walk in, they go, oh, this table is available, and they'll come here and say this chair here is available. We want the logic to be that they come to this chair and they go onto this side right here. Not this side, this side. And so I've been implementing logic that will have 2 empty components here, and then we have to calculate between the NPC and these 2 objects which one is the closest. Once we've done that, then we need to tell the AI to go to that side, and then we need to tell it, because here's the thing, we're not done yet. We need to tell it, okay, you need to play that sitting animation, but we don't want you facing that part. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a little component there. They're going to walk to the component. Then we're going to make them look at the chair and say, this is the direction that you are facing for the chair. Flip them 180, and then we play the animation that I showed you before of them sitting down. And then we correct it so they face the right way afterwards. So all that logic needs to be implemented for them to simply spawn, find a table, find a chair, find the right side of the chair, stand in the right spot, sit down, correct themselves. All that needs to be done. Just going to do a quick little check, everyone, of the stream to make sure we're nice and healthy. All right, all good things, all good things. Good to see. And so that's partly what I've been doing. So the reason why they won't sit in the chairs is because I'm currently working on that logic of getting those 2 sides of the chair and then calculating what side's best. Because it's a bit confusing. In Unreal, there aren't necessarily just game objects. There are things called pawns, like, pawns you have in chess. You've got object components, you've got meshes, you've got character controllers, you've got all these different, flavors of what a game object is in Unreal. And in Blueprints and also C++, which I've been trying to learn a bit this week, they don't always connect and interact with each other as well as you might think. And so that's been partly figuring out, okay, what parts do I reference for this thing and that thing. So it's been a bit of a hectic week, figuring out all that stuff along with everything else that's going on in life. But yeah, that's how the project is coming along. So Amir asks, what if two NPCs want to take the same table? If they're a group. So I haven't implemented, I'm calling it the partner system. Because if right now they're all by themselves, and so they all spawn one after the other, I've made sure that they never spawn two at a time. And so whoever spawns first gets dibs on the table. And when they're going to be in a group, when they spawn, there'll be a logic for that. Where basically they will, in the group, whoever spawns first is the leader. And they'll be in front and they'll be, followed along by everyone else. And it's basically first come, first served for the group. So the leader of the group will pick the table and then tell everyone else, okay, here's the table, here is the chair I'm sitting at. And then depending on how many I'm going to end up having in the NPC group, we'll then divvy up who's sitting where. I don't need singing in my stream. But yeah, that has been that. Today, however, I thought of trying something a little bit different, and I want to see all your opinions on this. We are going to be doing a bit of game design. So here I have a website, program, stuff. It's called Confluence, and it's what a lot of companies use to manage and plan. So Amir says they won't be trying to play the sing animation at the same time. Cool. Yeah, like the animation only plays once they're in the right position for that to happen. Before then, there's a lot of logic that happens behind the scenes. Kiernan wants Nathan singing on stream. I'm sorry, but I can hardly speak, let alone sing. Also, I feel like any song I'd want to sing would get me DMCA'd, which we don't want. Not in this current time. Can't risk it. But Confluence is great because it is basically kind of like a wiki, your own wiki, and it can connect to things like Jira and Trello. And yeah, this is where I have started documenting things. I swear I had oh, it's still a draft. And it's empty. Oh, no, it's not. Okay, good. Phew. Panicked there for a bit. This is me figuring out how to weight paint and writing down shortcuts from tutorials. I'm like, okay, this is all good stuff to come back to later because I'll be doing other things, more programming. Like last week and earlier this week was more animation. With this week was more C++, learning that, and a few other things. So when I learn something, I've been documenting it more down here so that then I can reference it later when I go back to the other stuff. But what I was thinking of doing today is I have a design document. I want to open it. I'm going to figure out, oh, there's a lot of stuff here. That's, oh my goodness, Nathan, that's... I made all these headers and I bet you they're all empty. Oh no, oh yeah, see, look at all that. Empty, 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 empty. Yep, available upgrades. This is the stuff I want to look at today, actually. Because I wanna figure out and implement. True says, I think you might be underselling your singing. It must be pretty good to DFC. I recognize it. That's true. That's very true. For them to I think it's less of my singing and more the backing vocals and the instruments. But you're right though, if I sing really bad, was that going to pick it up? Maybe, probably, most likely. But today I want to figure out some gameplay elements and basically scope in what the game's going to be, talk a little bit about some decisions I want to make. That being with item upgrades, levels, the length of the game. From what you all very vaguely know about this game, how long do you expect it to be, and how long do you want it to be? I do not play instruments, not for a very long time. It's more, you know, I would use a yes. Put my voice through AI. That's because that's what I want. I want AI to recognize my voice. Or have my voice. I mean, you know, with the amount of internet stuff of me speaking. True. No, like as in the length of the game. So most games are about between 40 to 80. Some of the bigger titles are like 120 hours to finish. How much time do you want to spend playing this game? Or the length of the story? How long do you want? And how long do you expect? Because those are two different things. Like, if you were to play this game, how much time do you want to spend playing it from beginning to end? Because if people want a long time playing it, like how much do you value playtime for a game? Because some people obviously are like, they want $1 per hour, and if it's under 60 hours long and I paid $60 for it, then it's a trash game. Where indie games don't have as much of that going for them, unfortunately. Yeah. 48 hours. Woo! Solus, you wouldn't play this game for 48 hours. That is... Okay, true, 10 to 20 hours for the main story would seem good to me. 10 to 20 though, that's very... For an indie game, it's like some work to double work. Amir has 5 hours. Okay. You got 10 hours out of Portal and 20 out of Outer Worlds. And they're two of my favorite games. And they're shorter games too. I mean, Outer Wilds obviously has more replay value, I think. And even Portal, I feel like there's lots of, like, they have very interesting mechanics that even though they're short, you go back and experience. Narwhal says it should be open-ended, like Tetris or Bejeweled. Yes, but I have a story to tell. And so, depending on how long people want the game to be, would depend on the length of story. But at the same time, there's only so many resources I have towards things like story. You know, because that all involves writing scripts, animating, making sets, modeling stuff. Yeah, Mia. See, that's inspiration I've taken from Plants vs. Zombies. Doesn't take that long to finish, but I played it loads. Like, I remember as a kid, it felt super long, but then as I played it more and more, I'm like, oh, you can like finish this in a day, in a few hours. Okay, I'm going to do a poll just to see what chat has an opinion on. I'm asking you all if you're okay with short games. Let me know what you think. Are you okay with short games, 1 to 8 hours? Because as an indie, I think short games have a lot more value because although you're not spending as much time, I actually respect games more that respect my time. I hate games that are bloated and don't get to the point. I remember the most recent example of this, and some might disagree, is the recent Star Wars Jedi Survivor game. There was a point in the game where I could tell they were buffing out the time, and they weren't respecting my time because of it. There were parts where I had to grind and get to certain points in a story to progress, and things weren't really happening despite me investing my time in it. I prefer games which are shorter. Obviously, they give you time to breathe, and they have times where things are up and down in terms of intensity and whatever. I'm not saying not to add that. I'm not saying to have it all intense. But in terms of... okay, so far we've got 83% are saying yes, you'd play a short game. Because it means that you can actually finish it, and it means I can make more games in my life. And, you know, there's a ebb and flow with it all. So short games are good. Amir says, another very short game I enjoyed playing was a turn-based game called Ronin. You can finish it... Oh, my emoji's covering it, so I have to Alt-Tab. I have to close the poll. You can finish it really fast, but it actually takes way longer. Interesting how that's possible. Because, yeah, I would like this game to be short, but to, like, I'm trying to think, for me, the examples of short games I really enjoyed come back from my DS game days, where I would buy a DS game and, you know, during school holidays, finish it across the span of 3 days. And then once I figured out all the puzzles and way to do stuff, I could finish it all basically within a day. And I enjoyed that. Like, I feel like as a kid, even though I spent $50-$60 on this DS game, I feel like the quality of the experience was so good, especially ones from Fifth Cell playing games like Drawn to Life and Lock's Quest. The value I got from those games, although they might be considered short, although really looking back, they're probably not short. But because of the quality of the time I spent with them, I consider them to be very good games. So, going back to here, D says, if I don't get 300 hours out of a game, I feel ripped off. I rarely buy a game anymore, though. I use Game Pass Ultimate. I mean, yeah, then you've got unlimited games you can play forever. I myself don't play games that much just because of where I am in life, but even then, like, every game I play, I want to be respected in terms of my time and giving it to the game. I want it to then result in it giving value back to me. My one exception to this is Rockstar Games, but that's because I feel like there's been so much care and attention, and I feel like even though those games can be quite long, like right now I'm playing through Red Dead, they give you the value for it. You know, I played GTA 5, and that game, back when I played it, now I'm like, okay, there's other games I probably enjoy more, like Red Dead 2. But back when I played it, like, even though it's a long game, it always gives you value. And I think that's where it's more important. You know, the reason why Skyrim is such a good game isn't the hours that you spend playing it, but it's actually the quality of the hours that you spend. The reason why the people spend so much playing Skyrim is because every minute they spend in it feels like they're getting value back. Where other games, I think a lot of Ubisoft games, are just bloated with to-do lists and checklists, and that doesn't give people value. And therefore, that time spent playing it, unless if you're a lot younger and you've got time to burn and you just want to waste your time in the most respectable sense I can say, then it isn't as good. Kieran says, nothing worse than having to bash 8,000 Zubats per Pokemon before the Elite Four. Exactly. Like, the reason why I struggle to play Pokemon most of the time is because of the little grindy sections. Obviously, there's elements of... It isn't as grindy as other games. I'm thinking of games like Destiny. I know are especially grindy. But, yeah. But anyways, shall we move on to doing some design elements in Coco Loco? I think the one I want to focus on actually is the upgrade system. But first, the Visual Digital Arts says exactly. Value is key. Exactly. Value is key, the opposite of a good value for me are modern Ubisoft games where you're just doing chores. Yeah. And there's some games where it's like doing chores is fun, like Animal Crossing, but even then, that obviously wears off, but that's because the value doesn't deteriorate, it's just you doing the same thing over and over. That's getting burnt out from a game. Like a lot of games make chores fun. It's when playing the game becomes a chore, which Ubisoft games tend to do a lot. But anyways, moving on to how we want to format this stream. I want to go to level progression. Do we have anything? No. I want to go to upgrades. Catalog system. That's all technical stuff. Available upgrades. So, interesting. D mentions I started a new run of No Man's Sky. That game went from grind to fun over the years. Isn't that funny? All right, let's go down to photo system. Oh, I don't have a photo system anymore. I had that in the Unity and Engine version. That's all technical, graphics, interfaces, story, available upgrades. So we're going to have two sides. I wonder if I can do a table like how we have above here. Forgive me while I learn this program. Layouts. Here we go. So we're going to have sorry, chat, the microphone's blocking my gosh, why can't I not type B? Abilities. Mic's blocking my view. Got player abilities and store. I'd say equipment. I would say store upgrades, because that can both mean equipment and furniture and everything else. And we'll have tiers. Hey, Stephen, no, glad you could make it. We're still going through, so that's okay that you rocked up a bit late. Yuri says maybe in a short game you can think about replayability, maybe different endings or something. And Narwhal says you can make it open-ended and the story modular a little bit more per level. Maybe I'm thinking of having a linear story similar to what the games were like in Penguin Diner and Diner Dash, where you just play number of levels, you get some story, upgrade back and forth, and then I'll have like an endless mode where people can do stuff. That's where I'm realistically thinking I can design this around, so I can get a linear story done, and then we add an endless mode for those who want to keep playing the game and master it. And then you can change stuff around. So, we're going to have different tiered options. I wonder if it will let me... Yes, it will. Cool. So, tiers are going to have actual impact on gameplay, where aesthetics will not. So, I'm wanting to have maybe about 3 levels of tiers, and then probably between 4 to 6 items per tier that have different aesthetics. That's a good point, actually. Another thing is having achievements you can't get in just one playthrough. Some gamers will play just 100%. That's very true. Achievements is something I will definitely have to look at closer to the end of the game and probably just start implementing them with the Steam Workshop. Once we've got, a playable game, that's when I'll be like, okay, let's figure out these achievements. And yeah, so we're gonna have different tiers. And wow, this is really just not behaving. Whoa! Why did we stop editing that document? That was weird, chat. Okay. Tier 2, Tier 3. Oh, I'm not doing it. Okay. So, within Tier 1, and this is going to be kind of like the starting... it's interesting because player abilities... I guess that's things I want players to unlock within the first stage of the game. So in terms of store upgrades, these are going to be aesthetics. And I was thinking, well, the one that we're kind of going with now, I don't have it open, is like the rustic oaky. Rustic. Is that what I'm looking for? The rustic aesthetic. Not exactly. That's like, for me, that feels more cottage. But then if I type in cottage, what's cottage? Okay, so it's got more greenery in cottage. Like the rustic... Okay, let's do rustic cafe. Because obviously homes are a bit different. Yeah. No, yeah, rustic. That's what I'm looking at. Because again, these aesthetics will carry through to different tiers. So we'll do rustic. Yeah, see, that's nice. That's okay. That's not rustic. That's like, it's rustic is so broad, isn't it? That's crazy. What are some other aesthetics? We've got like a modern. But what is a modern one? Yeah, modern. Yeah. So we're gonna have rustic, modern, and with mod, I'm thinking of like, very... what about... I'll try Victorian. Yeah, I like Victorian. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. But do you think Victorian is too similar to rustic? Or do you think for upgrade systems we can kind of difference ourselves from both of them? I feel like you could, right? That's something you can do for a game's aesthetic. Amir, is cozy an aesthetic? Yes. Let's see what... Cozy. See, I think cozy, they just have... It's usually later at night, or lots of like warm lights, warm colors, very inviting. And I feel like everything else can kind of have that. I think the whole game needs to feel cozy. What other aesthetics are there? So we've got rustic, modern, Victorian, futuristic, says true. D going medieval? Maybe. That's definitely a maybe, because remember the target audience for this is a little bit different. What was the one we're looking at? Futuristic. So that just feels more modern to me than, like, what is the word? Like brutalist? Is that the? Yeah, brutalist. That's the one. See, change modern to brutalist. Where it's very all about function and form and, you know, concrete, hard edges, little to no color. It's very much what Control is. Vintage. That's a good one too. Thank you, Stephen. See, that's a little bit. That's like Victorian as well, isn't it? It has that. But if I can be more broad, yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll change it to vintage. Okay. Are there any other ones that we're thinking of doing? Because I think this gives us a good ground for people who want to kind of, you know, customize their space. Rustic, we're focusing more on like wood, nature, pre-loved, refurbished items. Brutalist is very modern, very clean, concrete, metallic, you know, millennial grays everywhere. And vintage is kind of a mixture between the two, where you've got color, but it gives this a richness to it. It feels more wealthy. Rustic feels a bit more like op shoppy. What would you call it? Thrifty. Rustic is more thrifty, where vintage is a bit more rich, less thrifty. Let's go back to OBS. Read some of what chat's saying. Amir says weeb. Yeah, I'm trying to stay broadly specific, if that makes sense. Like, I don't want to... I mean, I guess by doing vintage, it's going to have... Yeah, maybe. Because here's my other thought, right? And one thing I would love to do for a game, I obviously can't promise anything right now for that, but what I'd love to do is, like, this is for the story. Let me take a sip of water so I can speak more clearly. So I want to give players range, so having rustic, brutalist, or vintage aesthetics, but I also want to leave room for things like modders. I would love to have a great Steam workshop where people can make their own items and furniture. For the cafe, and, you know, doing a weeb aesthetic could be, you know, specifically anime things that keeps me free, and fans of stuff can make things within the game. Or even just doing Japanese stuff, you know, having an all-American one, or, you know, more specific in a certain location, that, you know, people obviously, you know, by me saying that, your mind goes, okay, I can think of new ideas and new ways of making stuff. I want modders to have opportunities as well to make things for my game that they can enjoy, that I can't spend all my time on doing, because I feel like if I included a certain country, I would need to include other countries as well instead of just one. Just because I think that then it's fair, unless if the game was specifically based in a certain place, then yeah. True says, have you played Up? Anime style workshop items seem like a oddly specific Played Up call out. I actually haven't played Up. I've seen everything on it because it's very similar to the game I'm trying to make. But I also feel like it isn't a call out because modders are always going to make weeb-like anime things. Like if you look at any sort of workshop, there's always going to be the katana and Naruto and everything else like that. But I think we have our 3 themes down. And then with that, I'm thinking of items. So with rustic, I think, and these are going to be for the tiers. So I don't know how to organize this. Because obviously we've got the 3. Okay, you know what? I'm going to do it like this. So these are going to be our 3 aesthetics we have. And then in tier 1, the things that you can unlock, because you have base items and then you can unlock them. I think we should have chairs, tables, floor, walls, ceiling. So that's for the environment. Actually, we're going to have furniture. So we've got chairs, tables for furniture. Floor, walls, ceiling. I actually don't think we need ceiling. I'm going to do floor and walls. Ceiling can be a tier 2 thing. So that can be like for lights and stuff. Ceiling. I reckon we'll also do for tier 2 entertainment. So radio, jukebox, band, live band, we'll say. Trying to think what other things you want to customize in. For tier 1, for furniture, just chairs and tables. For the environment, the floor and the walls, because that's basically changing a lot of it. For tier 2, I reckon for the furniture, we'll change the kitchen top. Cash register. Sink. Yes, kitchen top, sink, and equipment. Yuri also customizing menu items. Yes, that is a good point. So menu items as well. Does your barista doing fancy things count as furniture? No, Amir. So we're going to have a different thing here for the abilities, and we'll go through the different tiered abilities once we figured out all the furniture of things. So menu items. Obviously, we're going to have the basic hot chocolate, which you don't need to unlock. That's what we're going to have. Then I reckon we have an iced chocolate. And I was thinking of milkshake because I feel like those are two very, very basic items. Because you have a hot beverage, an iced chocolate, and a milkshake, which are very different shapes as well, very different silhouettes. Do we want more drinks for tier 1? I feel like you need 4. Let's do... I want to do like a caramel. Caramel. Should I call it like a caramel swirl? What other things? Do you want strawberry or but something fruity? A fruity smoothie. But that sounds... I'm gonna write it down. Fruity smoothie. It's with a Y, isn't it? Fruity smoothie. Peppermint coconut. Okay. Imri, I don't know why you think I'd add that. Oh, true, you joined the Discord. Welcome, welcome to the Discord. Okay. It's got ceiling. Ice cream float. Yes, menu items. I mean, here we call them spiders, but we'll call them an ice cream float. Trying to think of other drinks. Coconut mint was said before. I'm trying to think of cool design ideas as well for this. Oh, Yuri, but we're not doing any coffees, Yuri. No coffee drinks. Got ice cream float, coconut mint. Just ignore the brave background wallpaper, guys. That's just random. Irish coffee. Strawberry lemonade. That's a good one, Yuri. Strawberry lemonade. Okay, we've got 3 cold ones. I feel like we need a hot beverage. Irish coffee. I don't know what an Irish coffee is. I'm going to Google that. Irish coffee. is an caffeinated alcoholic drink consisting of Irish whiskey, hot coffee, and sugar. That is the like opposite thing we want, Sam. Sam's trolling. I mean, Coltrane, unfortunately, we've already got hot cocoa is the like base drink. Good morning, Dan. Welcome to the stream. Right now, we're figuring out different drink ideas. I'm just gonna Google hot beverages. Let's see what we can find. Hot beverages. I mean, there's no names of things here, but maybe by looking at stuff, or like a cinnamon. Oh wow, I feel like that's. Oh, see that whipped cream right there, perfect. It's all gonna be. I mean, there's some teas here. Cinnamon tea. Dan just woke up. Ginger tea. See, I want an infusion. I like the ideas of coconut mint, strawberry lemonade, because remember as well they need to have like a visual aesthetic. Ginger tea. I don't know how attractive ginger can look in a stylized 3D model. I feel like we need to add something. Cinnamon hot chocolate. I think that's one I'm gonna have to add. That's not how you spell cinnamon. Cinnamon. All right. So we've got the environment. We're gonna have. Tier 3. I want to just go with menu items still because we're kind of in the mindset of that now. So what other ideas do we have for drinks? Because it's going to be like the finale, the really nice stuff. Let's see what we've got here. We've got basics of like an iced chocolate, a milkshake, a caramel swirl, fruity smoothie, ice cream float, coconut milk, strawberry lemonade, cinnamon hot chocolate. We kind of need the pinnacle fancy drinks at the end. Like cookies and cream. That's a good one. Cookies and cream. What else do we have here? Like most hot beverages, I feel like are just different ways of chocolate or... And I want them to have like really, I mean, cookies and cream isn't that fancy, but I want them to have like really nice names for stuff. Oh, Shirley Temple. Liquid cake. Yuri's coming out with some good drink ideas. Yeah, we do Shirley Temple. Because I'm also thinking of, when releasing the game as well, releasing like a little collector's cookbook that you can get in like a physical collection of the game, and having a little menu of the drinks you can make in the game, I think would be really nice. We've already got another coconut drink, so I feel like we need to change it up a bit. I mean, obviously certain ones like ice cream floats, and I mean, even then ice cream floats can be so broad in what drink you're having. It's cookies and cream, Shirley Temple, 2 more for now. What other drinks do you want in the game? Pineapple? Oh, I can do like a pina colada, coconut pineapple. Yeah, D, feel free to send me a DM. I just don't like DMing too much back and forth with people. But just a quick message and a question, feel free. Vorak. Oh, you kill me sometimes, right? With your responses. Actually, one thing I haven't done is I haven't added a Q&A. I'm also going to add a Q&A, so if you've got any questions outside of... Oh, watermelon, that's a nice one. Yeah, mangoes, that's another one. See, they're all very fruity. I feel like the fruity smoothie kind of encapsulates all of it. And I don't... Looking at coconut pineapple, I feel like I need to move some of these around. I feel like I need cookies and cream and strawberry lemonade to move around. Just because I feel like strawberry lemonade feels a lot more like, ooh. Oh, that's a fancy drink right there, isn't it? If ever I saw one. Strawberry lemonade, Shirley Temple. Now some good chocolate. Like a white chocolate? But I know... It's annoying because people don't like white chocolates. I think I need to change this. Because it can be... White chocolate can be a thing that some people like myself, but others do not. Koala bites. Uh-oh. Coconut screw pine. Mulled wine. We do not have mulled wine yet. No, Keenan, we don't need that. We've got cinnamon hot chocolate, Shirley Temple, strawberry lemonade, and like we need like a triple. Okay, you know what we need? We need the Flanders hot chocolate. That's what we need. That's what we're gonna add as the tier 3. We're gonna have Ned's hot chocolate. Should we have that? I need someone who has legal connections. Is Ned's hot chocolate copyrighted? I feel like that's not copyrighted. I reckon if I change the color of the mug. But what should I call it? Ned's hot chocolate? Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll call it Ned's hot chocolate. And I have it so at the end of the game, some like mysterious man comes and is like, I got a recipe for you guys. And like, that's how you get it. Or that can be this secret item. There we go, chat. You got to find Ned's hot chocolate somehow. So we'll add one more. But I kind of like that having, because I feel like what I want to do is I have these all as like black and white silhouettes, and then you can unlock them, and then it's kind of like a surprise of like, oh, I got this one. That's really cool. Returns to Kelly. Earl Grey, I don't know. I feel like it's just a common tea, and we're focused more on cocoa. Obviously, I've got other things here that aren't cocoa, but all the teas I've added are like, I mean, even then, they're not really like, they're more iced teas, like the strawberry lemonade and stuff like that. I'm thinking of ones that are like really extravagant. So I've got cinnamon hot chocolate, which can be, it's an upgrade of the hot chocolate. Shirley Temple, obviously you can make it, because I want these models as well to be really appetizing too. Now we're just talking about Simpsons drinks, and I feel like that'll very quickly get into the Duff discussion, which we know we're not going to have. Strawberry lemonade, Shirley Temple. I was going to say fancy non-alcoholic drinks. That's what I'm going to do. Fancy non-alcohol. Eggnog? It's more of a seasonal drink. I guess I'd maybe have that as like, that's what the drink is for everyone on Christmas Day or something. Man, there really isn't that much to go off. Once you have chocolate, it's just chocolate, you know? I think what I'm going to do, and now I'm going to call it Zoe Special, because that's like the player character's name. And it's just going to be the most insane chocolatey drink you've ever seen. Oh dear, don't worry. You know, shining lights in my eyes, Friday night, performing in front of a live audience. My spelling is not going to be on point. Now, for those of you who have ads, I'm going to give you one right now, so you can give me a few cents of your time. I'm going to have a drink, quick stretch, and for those of you who have ad block, you get to watch it. And then we're going to move on to the player attributes and probably finalize the environments and furniture as well. Was there no ad? I mean, do you have ad block? Dan, that's okay today. Like, if you've got anything you want to say, Dan, feel free. Ah, Yuri, you got Brave Browser. You're robbing me. It's okay. Those of you who watch ads, I do appreciate it a lot. You have no idea. Thank you, D. Okay. I mean... Anyways, let's continue on. So, we have the drinks covered, which is good. I think actually before we go to the play attributes, let's keep going with the furniture. Because tier 2, we are going to add chairs, tables, floor, walls. I'm also going to add the Q sign. And I think I'll also add table setting. So you can change like the table number and everything else like that. Oh, dude, you're a champion. Watching 2 counts as well. And then tier 2, you've got the kitchen top, which is like the front kitchen table, the cash register, sink, and the equipment. That's for tier 2. And I also feel like okay, you're doing lights, entertainment, and I think I'll do art, wall art, and frames. Or we also need to change the size. So here we'll do size larger space, and we'll also do an L shape. And for tier 3, for the environment, we'll do another larger space, and we'll do a T shape. But now I feel like... Okay, now here's what we're going to do. Here we'll have the... we'll go size up. L shape. And then we'll go size up. And we'll do outdoor exactly. Oh, we're going to customize the table, like serviettes, napkins, the number they usually have, maybe, you know, sugar, whatever else you want to put on. But I'm thinking for the environment, so obviously each tier you can size up the store, and then that will give you more tables and chairs. But I'll also add different things. So in the first one, we're going to have an L shape, and I'm thinking the L shape is going to just make the kitchen basically. I don't know how to explain it. Obviously, the kitchen has its own space, basically, and then you've got an L size area for serving people. Tier 2, we're going to have like a little window. People can come and have orders, and so it's going to add for the intensity. Like a food truck, basically. And then for tier 3, we're going to have not a T shape, but an upstairs. Yeah, upstairs. I'm trying to think of other things we could add to a space to make it cool. Because we've obviously got... Okay, let's have a look here. Let's do a review. So for tier 1, this is within the first few levels available in the game for you to select. You can have the chairs, the tables, and the setting for the tables. Then you can have floor, walls, the Q sign. You can make the size bigger, as well as an L-shaped store. For drinks, we've got iced chocolate, milkshake, caramel swirl, and fruity smoothie. Then in tier 2, mostly the kitchen that you can change. I'm trying to think if there's anything else you want to, in terms of furniture. I mean, I add a games and books section, and we'll add a TV. And I think for this one, I'm going to also add a radio. No, so the kitchen is incorporated into the level. Amir, special orders, birthday party and such. Maybe I'll do like special levels that are like that. I'm not sure. Tier 2, got kitchen top, cash register, sink and equipment, games and books, TV. Wall art, size up. Okay. Larger space, upstairs. What do I want for the environment? A mere carpet? Yes, that's kind of what the floor will be. I'm thinking to have all the aesthetics, that being rustic, brutalist, and vintage, available in the first tier. I'm trying to think of other things that we can put in the space that isn't going to be, that's more aesthetic than function, but maybe can have a function of like entertainment value for the patients of the... I mean, we can also just upgrade the kitchen. I think that's what we're going to need, isn't it? We're just going to do bigger kitchen. A bigger kitchen. We'll just do better kitchen equipment. Plants. That is a good one. And pets as well. You are correct there, Amir. See, tier 1 has a lot. We'll add plants there too. And we're going to add pets. And we're going to have cat, dog, fish, rabbit, cat, dog, fish, rabbit, bird. Anything else? I want a hamster. Anything else I'll have to add myself later. Art pieces, yes. I feel like I had that in... Huh. Did I not have it in either? Okay. I will put that in tier 2s. I'll put that... It's going to be included in walls, maybe? I don't know. Chandelier, that would be included with the ceiling stuff. A snake? Kiernan wants a snake? Yeah, so the ceiling... I think it's in tier 2. ceiling. That's going to include all the lights. So we'll have things like chandeliers. Yeah. Computers at a desk so they can make it an internet cafe. Uh-oh, says. As cool as an idea that's going to be a pain in my butt to get the NPC to do that. So for now, I'm going to keep that out just because of scope. Although I'm not discrediting how good of an idea that would be. Yeah. Look, for now, I think that's good. I'm going to start getting work. I think, especially for tier 1, if I can get all those things done, that would be good. Shall we move on to the player's abilities? So, first I want to have a sprint and stamina. Because, okay, I'm tossing up between having a consistent running for the player versus like a sprint stamina, like a dash, basically. What do you all think of that in the cafe? Would you rather dash around with the cooldown, or do you want to have a consistent sprint? Oh, hey! Sir McKnight, thank you for the $5. I'm not sure if that notification went through, which is annoying. But Sir McKnight says, coming from an overnight shift, so just wanted to say good luck to your endeavors, Nathan, and God bless. Thank you very much, Sir Knight. I hope you get some rest from the overnight shift, because I know those can be a pain. But if it's a job, you know, it's a job. But yeah, thank you for the $5. I appreciate it, genuinely. Stuff like that right now means a lot to me. So I know money right now is tight for everyone, and I appreciate every dollar people take up and give to me, because I haven't really given you much yet. Aside from these streams, just me working, basically. I hope to give you all some good value back once this game's finished. So thank you. Thank you. Because I'm thinking dash, right, for the gameplay would help in just trying to, like, players would use it mostly when there's an NPC coming through to queue up at a table. Let me try and do this on the screen. So the NPC's here and they're coming to a table and the player wants to get through before they... Oh, hey! It came up! The super chat came up very late.
Sir McKnight sent a $5 super chat. Coming from an overnight shift, so just wanted to say good luck to your endeavors, Nathan, and God bless.
Hey, it worked! That was so delayed, but that's good that it works. I don't know why it's so delayed, though. So... I do... D says, I do like the work up to having a limited sprint. If you're going for a shorter game, then perma-sprint could work. Solus says, I think dash is fun. Speedrunners will love it. So I think we'll start with dash. And then obviously, once it gets to a certain point, I mean, we can always just have improved dashes and then just have your speed increase anyways. So for now, we'll do a quick dash. Here's what we'll do. Yes, Dan, it was a super chat. Quick dash. We're going to do better balance. Because what I want to have, right, is at the start of the game, when the player starts to dash, they will have balance. And so, for example, if you have an NPC coming in and you dash into them, then you're going to spill the drinks and they have to be made again. And so it's going to put a risk on you to, you know, make sure you're not dashing all the time. And it's also going to put a risk on the NPC who's going to lose their patience because their drink is late. So better balance to be something that can help you improve. So like when you first start the game, it'll be, you can dash, but there is a like 10%, or probably higher than 10%, like a 30% chance that you will spill the drink after you dash. And then obviously better balance mitigates that, and that's eventually going to make it so that it'll get to... I'm guessing it's going to be like a skill tree, unfortunately, as much as I don't want that. Because it'll get to a point where when you upgrade both, you can have what's called a controlled dash. So when you dash, you can then weave around. Yeah. So that's what we're going to have for the first tier for the player, I guess. So quick dash and better balance. Is there anything else we want them to have improvement on? Should we let them be able to dash a bit more? Like add endurance or something? Add stamina? Or should we stick with just those two? Just a faster move speed? Faster move. Yes. I'm trying to think because I want to keep the controls simple, but I guess I could have it so that instead of having a dash and a sprint button, we have regular speed, a dash button, and then like a walk button as well. There's also the dash distance and cooldown, which I think is something we'll add into the other tiers. Put a question mark there. And the other one was... Are you working for tips or what are you doing? Every drink you sell, because you're basically... Tips aren't going to be a thing. And so Amir's... Was it Amir? Yeah, talking about haggling. I mean, I guess we could add charisma. I reckon... But I don't like having like RPG stats. So I want something different other than charisma. Yeah, Yuri, bringing just from counter to the table. I'm trying to think of something that can like mitigate so when NPCs are upset or we'll just add communication. And we'll make it so that if players are feeling upset or annoyed, you can go talk to them, be like, sorry, we'll be here. Like you can check in on them and that'll make them happy. I'll make a note of that though. Oh, actually, there's another thing. So I'm not gonna Okay, Yuri, adding flair so you can do like a trick or something for people. I'm gonna add that to tier 2. I had an idea for something and then I completely forgot it. Cleaning speed, because after each so we're gonna have quick dash, better balance, cleaning speed. So Mythtricker says, I would put the increment for run as a float since integer progression can ramp up too quickly. That's how it is now. Like we lerp into a sprint. Because like a little dash, it's like it's a dash, so. Okay. That's a good point, Emir. Communication could also make it so the customers choose their order faster. I like that. Because in that way you can get them to order quickly and then bring like it makes you be able to potentially have more customers in the store at once. Yuri, I was thinking it was less as a what do you want, and more of like, today we have a special. It's half off, or this is a really nice drink. I've made it myself. So waitress trick, we've got communication. Anything else? Cleaning. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do table cleaning speed. And for tier 2 we're going to do dropped orders cleaning speed. Waitress trick, communication to calm down customers. Okay. Dan asked me how my week was overall. It was okay. Ups and downs mostly. Can't complain. Finished moving, so there wasn't much of that to, oh my goodness, excuse me, to really deal with, but, you know, life is life. Tier 3. Man, I'm really stumped. I think I have to leave this one blank for now, because I cannot for the life of me think of anything. So that is that for the available upgrades. I'm glad I got the furniture and drinks, because that's something that I can start implementing now. Don't worry, Yuri, there's no time dashes in the game, period, so that's not going to happen. But yeah, there's that. I think, yeah, that's that. So I'm going to quickly, everyone who has questions for me in regards to anything that is appropriate, because I'm not going to say anything, because otherwise people will say stuff. But if you've got any questions, put them in the Q&A. And let's start chilling a bit more, because it is getting later, and I'm going to finish up in a little while. We're moving to the next stage of the stream where it's more chill. I'm going to place another ad, and then I'm going to quickly change the camera to this. Hello everyone. I'm going to move the desk down during this ad. So for those of you with ad block, you're going to experience this, okay? You get to experience it yourself. Alright, cool. Let me get my chair, and then we're going to adjust the... Oh, we shouldn't have to. We'll see. Okay, we're definitely a lot lower here. Let's adjust the camera. How's that? That's good. I think that's good. Squid Beats, welcome. You come just to the right part. We're going to do some chilling chats. Oh, thank you, D. I mean, yeah. Streaming is interesting because I don't think people realize, especially once you kind of switch on. And for me, for someone who doesn't talk for most of the day and answers in like one sentence or like one word, talking for this long, I need to get some like pineapple juice or something to help my throat. Kieran says, you've revealed you like grass types, but you have a favorite Pokemon. Yes, but he isn't a grass type. It's Psyduck. Yes, Psyduck's my favorite because I relate to him always having a migraine and panicking. I relate to that a lot. Interesting. Does it only do with the main camera? It happened last time, chat. Do you remember? Snorlax as well, close second. I love. Have you guys seen? Let me see if I can. The Pokemon store recently got all their stuff available in Australia. And have you seen their life-size Lucario plush? Their life-sized Lucario plush. It is so funny. So, the marketing for this is absolutely genius. Oh, he's not available in Australia. I have to go back to the US one. That's sad. Okay. Is he out of stock? Just gonna make sure it has the thing. It does. Okay. All right. Before we continue with the Pokemon chat, let me just show you this Lucario plush. Okay. Here's Lucario. Very good boy. As you can see, he's a 47.25-inch Pokemon plush. And the marketing for this at first is quite normal, you know? All angles, all sides, even got the arms up. But then something strange happens. You start getting pictures of the life side. You know, he's in the house now. Oh, and he's helping with the dishes. Oh, and he's listening to her talk. You know, listening about the day. Sending her off to work. Or the shops or groceries or whatever. Checking in on her, making sure she's alright. Imagine taking pictures for marketing and be like, all right, man, we need you to turn around, look sad, and we're going to have the Lucario pat you on the head. Like, there's a whole story. There's two ways of putting it. There's either, you know, a very supportive relationship or something really toxic happened, you know? Like, Lucario was just, you know, too perfect. I know, right? But, you know, that's that. I remember seeing that. That was the funniest thing. Amir asks, since Psyduck came up, do you like evolving those that require trading or stones like Pikachu? How do I put this? It isn't so much the effort that needs to evolve a Pokemon. It's whether or not I like the evolution. So some, especially in the most newest gen, like Fuecoco, does not evolve into a very it evolves into like a crocodile, alligator. It's not as cool as like a Charizard. Yeah, so the effort to make them evolve, because like I had a flying Pikachu, I got that as a mystery gift in Scarlet and Violet, and I evolved that into a Raichu, which I'm fine with that. It's more of whether or not I like the final form, whatever they evolve into. It's more the aesthetic rather than the effort it takes to evolve them. Because, yeah, that's my thought on that. I'm trying to think of anything else that's happened. That's kind of it. Squid Beats likes firefighting starters. Yeah. I mean, that's what... Did I pick? I think I did pick for Coco. So I watched the anime as well with my wife, so some of the names will get mixed up with the anime versions. Like, Nyuha! That's the cat. But, yeah. I like the fire starters. I mean, I like all the... It depends. Because I feel like with each generation, I would pick a different starter. I picked Grass for Sword and Shield. I picked for Coco for Scarlet and Violet. For Fire, for the old version, the first one I played was Fire Red and Game Boy. That one I picked Bulbasaur. And so, I lean more towards the green. But then I feel like if I was to do some of the other games, I feel like I would just pick Piplup because it's such a cute little penguin. How can I not? Yeah, with the other games, because I haven't played all of them as well. So, yeah, their personalities as well, because that's one thing that it's funny playing the most recent one. I really picked a Pokemon based on their, intro to each Pokemon that showed their personalities and how they were. And I was like, Phil Coco's got it. He's the one cool one. The other two, they're a bit stuck up. I don't like them. But yeah, Pokemon's Pokemon. I don't know. Yeah, that's it. That's it basically. I'm curious, what does everyone usually play games on? Is everyone PC? Do you play with Switches? Do you have Steam Decks? Console? I'm curious to know, and especially if I was to make Coco Loco, what platform would you purchase it on? And for those of you saying all of them, thank you very much. I appreciate that. But what's your primary platform you play on? Interesting. Corella, you had a very, very different Pokemon selection for each game. I feel like I would have chosen Scorbunny, but my wife did, so I went with the grass type. I forgot his name. And Quaxley, having watched the anime now, I would have picked Quaxley. But before then, I was like, Quaxley, he's too feminine. So I was like, I'm not having that. But now I'm like, Quaxley's the best one. So we've got PC, mobile or PC, Switch, PC and Xbox, PC, Switch and PC, PC, PC. Korilu says Nintendo Switch for me. But PC for games like Sonic Mania. Okay, and other ones. Okay. Interesting. Well, it's just because obviously when it comes to porting, that's something I haven't done to the full extent yet. And so obviously it's coming to PC because that's the easiest to go to. But I'm just curious because I've heard different things. I've actually heard that even though it looks like there are more games on Switch and therefore you'd think you'd make more money because more people are publishing to Switch, I've heard that people who publish to Xbox and PlayStation make more than they would publishing to Switch, which is really interesting for me. There's a lot of stuff that I'm like, I need to have conversations with people off the internet so that, we can share information. That's obviously NDA, which is not really a good thing to say on the internet anyways. But it's more of just like, there's just things that I wish I could know beforehand. Like, for example, when I was talking to Dan Pos, he's got a channel, you guys should check him out. We're talking through the Unity project I had for Loco, and I was using player prefs for the save system, and that's like Unity's built-in file management for saving preferences in the game, like a save system. And he's like, yeah, as soon as you can, you should get rid of that, because you can't port your game to any of the consoles with that in it, because they see it as a security risk. So I'm like, interesting, because you gotta have it encrypted and encoded and stuff for the save system. So stuff like that, where it's like, no one says that. There's tutorials online that says, use player prefs to save. But they don't say things like, hey, you probably shouldn't use this if you're planning to port, because that's, more work for you down the track anyways. So just things like that, where it's like, seeing you all save PC, Steam, and Epic, that's good for me, because that's a lot easier for me to do. Although I feel like it's going to be such a scary thing to do when I start doing play testing and you all have different hardware and outputs, and I have to figure that all out myself, all those issues and bugs. But, porting to different consoles, I'm concerned I'm going to run into some different issues with things I just wasn't aware of because no one told me. And also, even getting those dev kits so expensive, like thousands upon thousands of dollars, just to like lend them for a time and then play your game and be like, crap, this runs at 10 frames a second and there's so many things I needed. And that's like getting the game to run the dev kit, and then you got to submit it, and then they'll come back with notes. So like doing ports, I'm excited to do it, but I'm afraid at how long it's going to take and what state I'm going to be in when I have to do those ports. Like, it might just be easy to pay someone else, but then I don't want to pay someone else to do ports. I want to do it myself because I want that experience, So Amir says depends on the control scheme for me, or to me. Some games I prefer on PC and some on Switch. Like, I think this one's going to be a very Switch-friendly one. Like, I'm using the controller right now, and it's very... Like, it's not like any sort of MMO or RTS where you kind of need mouse and keyboard for. Even like an FPS. Like, this is something that you can play on both consoles with a joystick very easily. Yuri says, how do you do your save system? So with Unity, you have to basically make your own through C#. So you'll... there's tutorials on how to do it. Make your own save system where you encrypt the file. Because the thing with player prefs is that it's just basically a text document, which obviously to console isn't very secure. And if you're saving certain things for multiplayer games, that's a security risk for them and stuff. It's just like a overseas thing. Where, like in Unreal, I'm pretty sure the save system is encrypted to begin with. I could be wrong on that. But you just use like Unreal's inbuilt save system. I mentioned before, Switch has a surprisingly large amount of rubbish on it. It does. It really does. But it's also just, I would love to have my game. I mean, again, this is the dream game. Really, it's not the dream game, but it's the, my first game. I think it would fit so well for the Switch, and it's something that I'd love to do. So I will work on it. Even though it has lots of rubbish on it anyways. And True says, it might be harder to find, but there are options for paying someone to help you do it. That's true as well. I do have some contacts, and I know people who can help me out with that. Squidbeast said, I find people only post art in Unreal. I've never seen much gameplay in a grey box. Really? Is that like online that you've seen that sort of stuff? Because I feel like a lot of environmental artists and stuff obviously use Unreal for their art, and then they show that kind of stuff off. Obviously, people who are doing gameplay stuff, they'll do that too, though. But yeah. Amir asked a question before, so I didn't see it. I'm interviewing to work on an AR project in Unity. You think it's going to be hard to learn? Geez. It all depends on your skill set and what you're good at. Some people are really... I'm going to end the Q&A because it's going to be the last question. Some people are really good at picking up different tool sets. It also depends on your role. It depends what you'll be responsible for. If you're going to be like a junior or an associate where you have people above you who can help you through things, it's a lot easier compared to if you're a senior or like a solo person who's solely responsible for stuff. Then yeah, it's a bit harder. But Unreal has a lot of good... Unity has a lot of good packaged stuff. So like with AR and whatever, you can just use their package for that sort of thing. And a lot of it is just getting things working quickly and dirty. Dirty in the sense of like you just drag and drop things together, get things working, and then you polish from there. So depending on how big the group is and what you're responsible for. Yeah. So we've got a few things here, a lot of questions from Yuri. So Squidbeast said, I find people only post art in Unreal. Unreal posts on Facebook. I mean, that's probably just because people find those things pleasing, and that's something called like speed level design. You see that a lot on the internet where people do. They have it at the start of streams, Unreal streams. Where they'll do things. Yeah, wow. Like there are whole playlists where it's just... it's just people doing level design, basically. They'll kit bash and put things together. That's just because Unreal is visually pleasing, and it's very easy for people to show portfolio stuff on their level design skills through Unreal. You know, that's just something that you can do. There is grey boxing. And for those of you who don't know what grey boxing is, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. Here's a good one. So grey boxing is when you are laying out a level. Oh, that was a good example. This is grey boxing. Because there's grey boxes, you're laying out a level before all the art and things are finished. Vipino, that's perfectly fine. Thank you for checking into the stream. I appreciate it. Just say hello. That's all. Just watching the videos. That's all good for me. Doesn't matter if you're late or early. So grey boxing is when you are laying out levels, and then people will come in later. So you can test the level before putting in all the effort for art. Very early process of, okay, as we can see here, the enemies are around here. We've got an area that kind of blocks them off, and you can come through and see them from here or there. It's a way that level designers can work on level before getting all the artists to do everything first. Because, it would kind of suck if you, did all the art first and realized level doesn't work very well. So that's what grey boxing is. And there'll be... I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure Uncharted has some... There's a really good tweet trend a little while ago where they would add, show all these grey boxing for these AAA games. And so this is some grey boxing for Uncharted. Obviously, this is all of it in the final product. And then eventually it switches over to grey boxing. So before all the art is finished, it is just grey boxes and even things like interactive items, as you can see there, because it's all animation, you just went to T-pose. So yeah, and like you have very primitive shapes. So like, you know, you have some green boxes here to say there are going to be plants here, you know, make that. And so level designers make this so the space works well, gameplay elements work well. You have programmers come in and, you know, make all the things work that need to work. And then you'll get artists who will then make it look all pretty. And then you get other people who will come back and polish and fix things up. But it's just a way of working, much like it is with drawing and lots of other art. You start off simple. It's just really cool to see, I think. I'm trying to think. I remember there was Jedi Survivor one that was really cool. Just that one. I mean, there was also this video here that talks about I think it's that. No, that's more Uncharted stuff. But yeah, it does. Although I'm a single village man doing it myself, but you know, it's just talking about, you know, getting it to a playable state, and then adding things onto from there. You know, a lot of the time people are trying to get the idea across and trying to figure out what's fun, what's playable, and so it's a lot easier to do that in a grey box state because you can get the game feel without necessarily having all the visual representation. Your mind can fill in all of those gaps. Very rarely do you ever need full art to sell a game. Like, sell a game in terms of the development process. You know, can't find it. Oh well. But that's that. Anyways, there's the stream for today. Everyone, thank you so much for joining in and helping me come up with different drink ideas and figuring out some of the progression for the game levels and for Zoe, the playable character. I hope you will enjoy the stream. If you do, then please do consider liking, subscribing, doing all that good stuff. And let me actually, before we finish up, I know I feel like I've just probably got half the chat to leave. But earlier this week, I did a community post talking about a game jam. Now, I got an email and a few comments from people talking about potentially doing a game jam. And I initially was reluctant for two reasons. One being the size of the community. We're still quite small and tight-knit. And the other was the challenge of the game jam. I like game jams that aren't necessarily restrictive in crazy rules, but also have like a cool twist on it. And if we have a look here, you all said 42% said spectate only, meaning that you'd only watch and probably play the games. 33 of you said it depends on the theme and the challenge, and 10% said yes. So if we add this up, it's a majority of no. Now that's still only, you know, not that many people, 231 votes. That's not a lot of people, which is okay. Like, I'm not saying we shouldn't do a jam. I'm just trying to get chat right now your opinion on a game jam. What do you think? Is it something like, should we just do like my first game jam and just have it be everyone's first time making a game and just seeing what happens there? I think that's a good idea. So D, a game jam is when it's like a hackathon. I don't know if you've heard of them, but a game jam is when you it's like an organized event, sometimes in person, sometimes online. This one to be online, and it's where you're given usually a theme and a set of rules, and you can work in a team, and you are given a time frame to complete a game. And within that time frame, you need to work in the game, whether it's by yourself or in the team, with the given theme or challenge. And at the end of the jam, everyone plays the game, and then you basically can do like a challenging and grading system of like who made the best game. You know, bigger game jams do ones like, you know, best visuals, coolest gameplay. Like it's a competition basically to see who can make a game in the period of time given with the requirements asked. And it's a way people network and find partners to work on their projects with. Like imagine like jamming with a bunch of randoms at like a, you know, music thing, but it's around games, and it's usually around like a more organized event. So I think I'm going to look into it. I would like to do some prizes for stuff. And the email I got from someone was talking about how I could reach out to some companies for some software packages. And so if anyone was like given like a free subscription to Game Maker or like Substance Painter or something like that, like an asset pack maybe, is that something you guys would be down with? Yeah, I've been to a few game jams and they are fantastic. They're super fun. Vipio, it doesn't really matter. I mean, obviously the time thing matters because I'd do it within like a couple of days. But they're really fun. Like I've done collab game jams basically on the channel. If you look back, where is it? Oh my gosh, was it that long ago? Have I only done what? Oh, because yeah, gotcha. So this one right here, this was an experience. If you click on it, you can watch the video. I talk about the experience, but it's more this video here. So this is a collab I did with Dan Pos, and it was 6 devs make 6 games with 1 asset pack. So we had 48 hours in total. Let's see if I can find mine. And I'm pretty sure you guys will get a... Oh, did I not do this one? No, it was the other one that was... Yeah. So I made a first person shooter type game with a car involved as well somewhere. Let's see if I can get to the end. Yeah. So I made that in a limited amount of time, and you know, we got different people who have made different games. The coolest one was Thomas. I've also done an interview with him. He's awesome. He's gone full solo indie dev now, and he's made I think 2 games now officially on Steam. You should get them. But he made this like really cool like fueling system where you have to like manage this. And he does funny things in his videos, like, you know, at a fireplace on the side. Who does that? But you have to like fuel different things. It was really, really clever idea. I'm trying to think of what the other jam I did was, because I did 2 with him, I'm sure. There was one I did with, it was the medieval one. I didn't do a video with him for that one. That's right. That's just on his channel himself. If we go to Dan's channel, he did a recent one. I had to drop out of it because of moving and life experiences. Where was it? There was a medieval one that I did. Got to find it. It's here somewhere. That was that one. This one. Here we go. It was a medieval one. And tell me, chat, can you bet... What did I do as my little intro video, you know? What assets or things did I use at this time? I was going to skip to it. That's right, everyone. Oh, I'm so proud of that. You know what? Should we listen to it? I think we should. It was such a good thing to do. Oh, I'm so glad I could do this. Anyways, I made a VR game. That's the story of it. No sound? What are you talking about? Well, then go watch the video. Chat. Here's the video. I'm going to give it to you. Go watch it and give it some love. Tell them Nathan sent you. Sorry, I've got to fix the sound thing next time. Anyways, that's that. So I think I'll look into doing the game jam thing with a few of you so we can get some... Yeah, sorry, chat, I'm reading through and I'm just like, oh, you were all saying no sound and I was too busy watching the video on the other screen. But yeah, we'll get involved, do some game jams. And for those of you who, like, you don't need to make a game. You can just do some 3D modeling for people. You could do some sound for people, whatever skills you have that you can contribute to making a game, get involved in a team. You know, like the most crucial people I've found, at least at game jams, are musicians and sound people. Those are some awesome people. But yeah. See, Deke, that's an awesome thing you contribute to people. Like a lot of game devs, not a lot, because I don't want to stereotype them, but I myself can't do any music. So having people who can do music for me is really helpful. And even if it's just simple like chiptune stuff or background tracks for different things, that's a fun thing to do. So I think game jams are a fun thing that a lot of the community here on my channel don't actually know about. So I'm going to have to do some, figure out some cool prizes to actually get you all to push to, you know, participate. I think that's something that would maybe get a few of you going. But yeah, that's all from me for now. Thank you all for watching. I've really appreciated. It's good to chat with everyone again. And thank you for those who did the super chats and for our new member, just for testing the notifications. But yeah, it's been fun. Thank you all for watching. Let me know if any ideas you have for the next stream, because I'm probably going to figure out something eventually, but it would be fun to do something a little bit different. Anyways, that's all from me. I'll see you in the next live stream.